Hello everyone, my name is Snehashis Pattanayak. Communication has been the core of human civilization and its exponential growth for thousands of years. It enabled the exchange of knowledge, information, and goods, which in turn supported the growth of civilization. With advent of internet, rapid development took place in inter-device communications. Today we see that large part of human life is present over the internet and all the information that is present there is to improve the quality and productivity of life. Uses of various interconnected devices enables humans to control their immediate environment for a comfortable and lavish lifestyle. Internet of Things depends on a host of devices and processes for providing the desired output. It starts with sensing the various parameters concerned and as defined by the user. This information is immediately transmitted by the use of networking devices to a data collection and processing center. Here, the data is analyzed and studied to determine if and what changes are required. This is then sent to the user with the suggested measures. The user then can bring about the changes by the actuators set for the control action. The user need not be directly present at the location, instead can access all this data remotely and even perform the actuation indirectly. In many instances, the user is bypassed and actuation is directly performed, but this too has to be user defined. Scope of IoT in agriculture. Agriculture for long has been the primary source of income for a large part of our population, but lack of innovative methods has rendered it less profitable or even unprofitable at times. IoT has led the way in improving the efficiency of agricultural practices. Use of precision farming, which includes watering, weeding, use of fertilizers and pesticides in a very restricted but accurate manner. Unnecessary use is avoided by identifying the regions affected. Use of various real-time monitoring systems to assess the conditions and act on them effectively and rapidly. Observing climatic conditions and weather patterns to determine the timing of plantation. It also helps in allocating resources as and when required. In the cattle rearing and ranching industry too, it helps in monitoring cattle health, habits and needs. All this improves the productivity and efficiency of the farm. In rest of the video, we discuss the various technologies used in the agricultural activities. Drones are one of the most diverse devices which can be developed and deployed in many ways. Drones can be autonomous or remote controlled by the user. The various ways in which a drone can be deployed and used in agricultural industry and farmland include sprinkling of fertilizer and pesticides, terrain oversight, and aerial crop monitoring. The use of drones can help identify regions that are affected by pests and weeds, which can be prevented from spreading by localized spraying of pesticides. Drones can be used to identify different terrains in the farm and its characteristics in terms of moisture content, drainage, and infestation by means of thermal imaging and infrared imaging. Another innovative way of using it is by monitoring cattle. It is very efficient in keeping track of cattle movement and count. Also sending alert in case of an emergency. Low flying drones can be used for analyzing quality and quantity of produce. Usually, harvesting is a very labor intensive process. This shows up the cost of production significantly. With invention of combine harvesters, the grain crops like wheat, paddy and alfalfa could be harvested and cleaned mechanically, but even these are operated by humans. Now, robots are being developed for harvesting fruits and vegetables after identifying the ripe ones. These bots check a variety of parameters to identify the ripe fruits. These bots can work throughout the day and without any reproach. Even the combine harvesters can be remotely controlled and their path of action set by means of GPS and other tracking devices. Such bots, when employed over the right scale, can give significantly higher output in relatively lesser time. It also reduces the labor required and thus the cost incurred is reduced in the harvesting process, thus increasing the in profits. Remote sensing devices are very effective for obtaining real-time values of parameters like humidity, light intensity, microbial growth, chemical composition, pH value, soil moisture content, etc. These parameters are in turn transmitted to a data processing center. The data is analyzed and then sent to the user for appropriate changes if required. The remote sensing for initial stages pertains to determining existing conditions like soil composition, water holding, and drainage, so that if alternation is required, can be performed before sapling plantation. In the later stages, remote sensing also enables the user to intervene and act on different conditions like low moisture, pests, rodents, higher low temperature, weeds, etc. All this is particularly important as the smallest changes can increase the harvest significantly. The ground based sensors can be bot mounted or handheld or fixed. Sometimes satellite sensors can also be used to provide coverage of vast land areas, thus overcoming the problem of size posed to the smaller remote sensing devices. Until now, I have enlisted a few standalone technologies in the field of IoT in agriculture. Greenhouses, on the other hand, have been used for quite some time to improve agricultural output. So, when the above technologies are applied to a greenhouse, what we have is a smart greenhouse. A smart greenhouse, in addition to above text, has various automated systems like a drip irrigation system controlled by feedback from the remote sensors. Also, it is fitted with humidity control, fog or mist control, and temperature control in the form of exhausts, heat lamps, etc. Even the light intensity is controlled by use of shades for sunny days and LED lamps for cloudy days. The highly controlled environment automated by a completely interconnected network of sensors and data processing units followed by remote controlling devices like a phone, tablet or desktop or laptop and actuators optimizes the output of the farm manifolds, thus improving overall profitability and productivity of the agricultural farm.